Good morning. And it is morning at 7. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Good to see you. So far, it says 20 of you, but the chat is going. Maybe YouTube's behind in the count. But at any rate, we're here. We're here this morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. And to start things off, drink it if you got it. Rant man watching. Wow, that's good. Here comes the people. Good morning to you all. Coming over from Kiltsy. Peter says, you in a good mood this morning. I'm in a great mood, Peter. Why would you think anything else? Moi? In a bad mood? Come on. Let's keep it that way. I was watching Kilsey this morning. Back to the old routine. And that was quite an interesting show we had this morning from over there in England. And what was her name? The guest. She fainted. And I couldn't believe it. I'm glad she's okay. Wow. Did you see that? I could see something was wrong. Kelsey was talking about the effects that carnivore have on mental clarity. And right at that point, he asked her a question about what she thought, and she was just like frozen up. Like a deer in the headlights. And I said, uh-oh. And that went on for about 30 seconds. She didn't say anything. And then she just passed out. But let's see, it's probably what, 11 o'clock in the morning, 7, 5, 12, noon over there. We're 5 hours behind them. Maybe they just needed to eat something. But she was all right. And if you're going to have to faint, you can't pick a better place to do it than shoulder to shoulder with a doctor, especially one that is strong enough to hold you up. So I'm glad that worked out. But that was something you don't see live every day. And my first thought that hit me is, what if I had my stroke right in the middle of doing a live stream? Man, that video would have gone viral, guaranteed. I don't know how good it would have been for the carnivore community, but that video would have gone viral. At any rate, it didn't. I didn't. And I don't want to have a stroke in the middle of a live stream either. So let's see how we doing so far. 48 people early Monday morning. For me, this is better. It's better. I'm up anyway. I'll be able to get on with my day earlier. So I know it's going to inconvenience some of you. Some of you like it better. Get a chance to chime in before work. Can't. That's what happens when we're spread out all over the world. Everybody's living, they say it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Well, same thing is true here. Oh, cool. I saw the word rant man in Thomas's, so I wanted to read it. Rant man joins Marvel and teams up with Ant-Man, and Ant-Man shrinks Rant Man to show. Oh, Thomas. Yeah. Well, let's say hello to everybody. If you have any questions, QQQ for me, put them in the chat. It doesn't have to be a question. It can be something you want to bring up into the discourse, into the conversation, and something for me to just comment on. And I'll try to get to it. Mary M is always the first one in. She must be sitting at that computer every time I post those videos because she just jumps right in. So good morning to you, Mary. My first coffee of the day. I've been up since about 5. Been working on electrolytes. I like to hydrate first thing in the morning before I drink any coffee, at least an hour or more. That was a little tip I got from Andrew Huberman quite a while ago. He said basically, when you first get up, hydrate. Don't take any stimulants like caffeine or coffee or anything like that. Let your body normally wake up with its own, morning routine of cortisol and the dawn effect, elevating your blood sugar, giving yourself a chance to wake up. And I think it's a good idea rather than diving for the coffee pot as you're wiping the sand out of your eyes. So I have my electrolyte mix here. I do that first thing in the morning. Michael Pregler was here last night, and 2:40. Lady June chimed in the middle of the night at 3:57. Michael Sealy, United Carnivore from Tampa. How you doing, Michael? Get up and go to work. Humaira's here. How are you? And at 4:47 in the morning, Brian Dish. Hiya, Brian. We had Michael Sealy here in Melbourne. Joined us at 6:35. Lucy Work chimed in, and now we're getting close. It's 6:52. Carnivore Chat is here. Good morning to you. Barry Simon. Hiya, Barry. How you doing, Barry? I fixed this. I fixed this thing. Let me show you. The Rant Man, in case you didn't see it Saturday night, Barry Simon sent me this, and it's got a base on it, see? And it says Rant Man. But the thing just set into the base and it wouldn't stay there. So I went ahead and put some masking tape on the bottom and just stuck the bottom of the statue to the masking tape. It seems to hold pretty good. So solved that problem. But at any rate, see, there was resemblance. What do you think? That's me. Still in a good mood, however. So, Rat Man is my sidekick now. And he'll live right there during the live streams. Right over there. Keeping an eye on me. Are we grown up? I think we are. And here we have Bride's Biscuit. Good morning, Mitch, he says. How you doing? Or she. Who's this? CB. Hi, CB. How you doing? Up and at him this morning, I see. And Thomas is here. Oh, no, it's not Thomas. Target. Yeah, Target Primary. Wow. Still getting used to the new format for the names. Wayne Herman. Yes. Hi, Wayne. How are you? From Lake Gaston, North Carolina. We at to 7 yet? No. And Juliet is here. Hi, Juliet. Good morning to you. Let's see. Who is this? Silrodent. I don't. Good morning, everyone. There's a name I don't recognize. Good morning to you, my friend. Welcome, welcome. And the first one at 7 o'clock. Peter. Hiya, Peter. Man, look at you. Look at you, right on the money. CB says hi. My BB and E. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. And at 7 o'clock, Carnivore Jerry is here. Hiya, Jerry. How you doing? Oh, these names. Greta Brunswick. Good morning from California. Wow, you're up and early. Good morning, Greta. Thanks for the effort. Or else you were up and wondering what the hell to do it for in the morning. Well, this is it. This is a good thing. Did you see Kilts at 3 in the morning? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And Rick, Charge of Mopar is here from Miami. How you doing? And I saw that Ali actually plugged this live stream, which is nice. That was good to see. I was watching Kilts and looking at the chat, although I did not participate. Lewis, good morning, Lewis. How you doing? Are you working today? But good to see you. First thing in the morning. Rick says, let's get quacking. Question, Mitch, Peter, are you in a good mood this morning at 7 a.m.? Yeah. I always wake up in a good mood. I mean, it's just my default. My default mood is a good mood until I get triggered by something, and I don't stay moody. I don't get moody. I get angry, frustrated sometimes, but it never lasts. It never lasts because my default state is a happy guy. I've always been that way, always tried to be that way. Even when I was going broke, losing everything and getting divorced, and I still tried to always look at the positive in things and put the negative behind me. Unfortunately, in this YouTube thing, with all the nonsense out there, especially when you're doing live streams like this, you're going to run into something that hits you the wrong way. And I'm consciously trying to project that happy face and attitude because I am. I never would have made it this far if I wasn't really an optimistic person. Looking towards the future. Loretta Nadal, good morning to you. And Brenda McIntyre, good morning, everyone. AP and Net is here. Hiya, AP. Hiya, Net. Good to see you. Tom says the traffic from Kilts was not so bad. Got here pretty quickly, Mitch. Yeah. Well, I don't know if we got a lot of traffic from Kilts. It's the same guys, most of them. But they ended about 2 minutes early, which I was surprised. But Ali was conscious, and they cut it off 2 minutes early. I think Kilty was just about to say, Mitch was coming on, and Ali was in a hurry to end the stream. And I appreciate that. I didn't know he was going to be over there at a meetup over there with them, but cool. Larry Ryan, good morning. Good morning, Larry. How are you? And Steve Rogers was the big winner over at KMT won the prize today. Congratulations, Steve. Captain America from Kansas City, superhero in the house. Carnivore Jerry says, well, what a riveting kill show was it? Was it any show that you do for like on location like that? They're always interesting. It's a departure from the usual. You know, I imagine sometimes these things can get a little boring, repetitive. So does network TV. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Who is this? This is Sandy Blythe. Hi, Sandy, live rant man. Yeah. I need to get it. Oh, man, would that be great? To get a Rant Man t-shirt with all the muscles printed on it. Oh, man, what an idea that is. And wear the Rant Man t-shirt. That would be got a cape. He's got a cape, too. He's got a cape. Here's Rant Man. Here's me turning into Rant Man. Why didn't it work? It didn't work. Oh, something. Probably the hard drive has to spin up that it's on. Okay. We let it sit a second. It gets that file from a different hard drive on my PC. And obviously that hard drive hadn't spun up yet. And I was going to sit, let's try it now. Nope. It's trying. Let's try it again. Try it again. There we go. What do you think? A t-shirt like that with all those muscles printed on it? That'd be fun. Okay. Now let's see. Yeah, Dance on 11 says Georgia's lady fainted live on camera. Yeah, she did. We saw it. Wow, that was something. If you didn't see it, watch the replay. You could see it coming. I remember I had kind of the same feeling as my stroke was starting to hit, but I never passed out. I never lost consciousness, but I could feel something bad happening. I didn't know what it was at the time, but it didn't take me long to figure it out. Manscaping, positive vibes. Yes, sir. Rick woke up at 6:30. Good for you. Yeah, Rick, the vegans, they're mean. They're just mean. They're mean. Militant mean. They celebrate if a carnivore has a problem. Most of them are readying themselves for the day's protests, got their signs ready, their buckets of red dyed something or other to represent animals' blood to go out there and throw all over people. That's what they are. That's what they are. And they are that way because of what they eat, more than likely. Their brains are probably riddled with disease. No, CB didn't see it. Yeah, it happened, I think, about halfway through the stream. And, but she came back. She was there back, back towards the end. But it was something. It was something to see how they all reacted to that emergency. Peter says he must have missed when Louise fainted. Yeah, I don't think you were there yet, Peter. I hadn't seen you in the chat at the time. Rick, poor Rick. Everybody picks on you. Peter said the vegans would have loved to see Rick faint. Rick's not going to faint. Rick's not going to faint. Not as a carnivore. That's for sure. So at any rate, let's see. We're up to 7:05. Peter says, yeah, Peter, you got a chance to be here now. I know this 7 o'clock thing is better for you. And I'm still going to keep doing it 3 days a week. So I think it'll work out better for me. I think so. Otherwise, I usually had to, I was up, I was ready, and I had to sit and wait 2 hours. Just sitting waiting, trying to keep myself busy. I didn't have enough time to actually go out and start doing anything. I didn't dare try to get out to the store because I'm going to be able to start going to the store again. And I could do that on Tuesday and Thursday morning, get to Sam's Club at 8 o'clock. Get to Sam's Club at 8 o'clock. I see that Costco, I saw a video about the changes Costco has coming in 2026. And I don't use my Costco membership because they had no senior hours and I am a senior by anybody's metric now. It used to be some places they wouldn't give you the discount unless you were over 70. Some places gave it to you at 60, 65. But there's no doubt now that I qualify for everything that has the word senior attached to it. But I don't know how much it's going to cost, but they have what they call an executive membership. Probably costs $100-some, like the Plus membership at Sam's. And they're going to open early for executive members and maybe senior members too, where you can avoid the crowds and be there when everything is first put out and fresh, which is why I like Sam's Club at 8 o'clock in the morning. You basically have the place to yourself. And I think that would be great for me. So I'll have to check it out. I don't know if it's in effect yet or not, but they said it was in this video. It's an interesting video. Donna Ray's with us. Hi, Donna Ray. How you doing now? I'm looking for reading the comments before I get too far behind. This is funny. Brad says, I have death wish first thing in the morning, 700 milligrams of caffeine. Something wrong with me fundamentally. Going to move to half calf. Well, you're going to probably suffer a little withdrawal. But yeah, I would do that. I would do that. But I've seen so many videos extolling the benefits of caffeine. Maybe they were sponsored by the coffee industry. And then the videos talking about how poisonous it is and going to kill you. And I kind of take my cue from what they call anecdotal evidence. Open your eyes and look around. And when you go into these diners, these Denny's, and all these other breakfast places around the country, and you just observe and you look for the oldest people you can find, because there's usually a lot of old people out having breakfast early in the morning. They're up, they got nothing to do. Or if you're out there in a small town and say in the Midwest, and they got the town diner where everybody congregates, they got a waitress named Flo, you know the place. Got a bunch of old farmers wearing overalls and chewing on straw. Some of them are 90, 95 years old. Check to see if they're drinking coffee. And in my observations, the answer is a resounding, of course they are. So these are the same people that are eating bacon and eggs every day. All these old people, they're thin, they're in shape. Most of them still work. They're 80, 90 plus. They drink coffee in the morning. They probably don't drink it all day because they're out working. But they have a couple cups of coffee in the morning, and I guarantee you it's not decaf. And they're not dead yet. So that's anecdotal evidence. And I'll take that any day above a randomized, placebo-based controlled trial paid for by a company who's trying to sell you the particular product. So, a little observation. That's all. I think it makes sense. Who's this? Marla Kelly. Good morning, all. She says, Rick says, Duckman. Jerry says 90 minutes waiting for my first only cup of coffee works best. Yeah, that's about what I end up doing. I'm up out of bed between 5 and 5:30 at the latest every day. So if I don't drink my first sip of coffee until the live stream starts at 7, that's 90 minutes. So I'm with you, Jerry. I am with you. We have discovered, we figured out the best way to do it. And yesterday, I had a good day yesterday. You do get these up and down days in this thing I'm going through. Sometimes in the middle of the afternoon, I just run out of steam. And I might take a nap for half an hour or an hour. Yesterday, I just kept going all day. I don't record it. I'm not making these videos this month. I'm taking a little time off from all that video editing and everything else, doing the live streams. But I went for a walk outside, down the street, all the way to the end of my street without a walker. Just walking on my own with this, with my cane here. And I don't use the cane to support me, but I just touch it to the floor, and gives me a balance reference. It's not a matter of strength or energy, because like I showed you with the walker last week, I walked over a mile. So it's not the fact that my legs muscles aren't working. It's the tension and stress and worry of falling because of a balance issue. But just having that tip of the cane touch the ground takes all that worry away. It stabilizes. And I didn't realize that a lot of people used canes just to not to actually support any weight, but to stabilize them because they may have balance problems, which is more common than I ever thought it might be. And most of the walk, when I went all the way down to the end of the street, back up the other end of the street, and then back to my house, not a really long walk, I actually held the cane off the ground. I actually only didn't need it to walk, but having it in my hand just took the constant worry about falling and maybe hurting myself, took that away. So I'm going to start doing that. It might be a little tougher for me to carry that camera on the selfie stick that I do when I walk, but hopefully before too long, I won't have to take that stupid walker out for a walk, and I'll start to stretch out. So I didn't realize it would take almost a full year, because I'm at 9 months now since the stroke, but it appears that if I'm going to even approach normal again, it's going to take at least a year. And that, I think that would have depressed me had I realized the reality of that early on, when recovery was coming in much bigger leaps and bounds over shorter periods of time. I'm at a point right now where the remainder of me getting like the fine motor skills in my right hand, where I can play the piano like I used to, or type on keyboards like I used to, or hand write with a pen. Those kind of things take time for the brain to relearn. They take the same amount of time in children too. They learn the basics real quick. But say how long it takes for a kid to learn how to write or play the piano. And that's what I'm going through, and probably don't learn as fast as a child would. So back to it. But I digress. What else have I got to do here? That's a show. I don't want it to be a show about nothing like Seinfeld, but he did all right with that concept. Okay. Let's start running through this because I'm 20 minutes behind now over here. Jerry asked, did you get the blood test from Dave Feldman's organization? Oh, okay. Dave Feldman's organization is the ownyourlabs.com. I don't get blood tests. Kiltz and I have the same philosophy about that. I bet he wishes he had not has gotten that last CAC score, because that they're screwed up his whole life just knowing that number, and he can't do anything about it anyway. And believe me, I don't care how much fish you eat. If you've got plaque in your arteries, the fish is not going to clean it out. And you do panic. I'd rather not know. Just eat the best. Eat as if I did know and was trying to fix it, because that's the best we can do at that point. The best we can do is stop the progression of it, which we should do if we're exercising this carnivore lifestyle properly. We keep our inflammation down, and you could tell. You don't need to go to get a blood test to tell if you have system-wide inflammation. You feel it. Everything hurts. Your joints hurt. Your back hurts. You know when you're inflamed. So I think that good morning, Mitch. Butch Knapp, Funk, Nebraska. Is there such a place as Funk? You're pulling my leg. You got to be. Funk. There is a place. There really is a place. Funk, Nebraska. Funk is a village in Phelps County, Nebraska. The population was 194 in 2010 census. Where to eat in Funk, Nebraska? These are now. Thank you, Butch. Thank you, Butch. That's terrific. That's terrific. I never would have believed that. And here on YouTube, I would assume somebody was putting me on. So we fact check. We fact check everything. And speaking of fact checks, hang in there 1 second. My son is texting me. Let's do lunch Wednesday. Let's do it. Let's do it. I will reply. Sounds good. Okay. My son's going to take me to lunch. We're going to go to Sonny's Barbecue probably and eat meat. That's great. That's great. But Funk, where to eat? Restaurants in Funk, Nebraska. We have the Speakeasy, Lost Way Brewery. We have the 37 Smokehouse. I mean, where else are you going to ever get information like that? I mean, how useful is this? There's a place called The Most Unlikely Place, the Cozy Inn Cafe. Wow. Look at all these restaurants, J&B Sport Bar. This is a town of 194 people, for God's sake. I guess it must be near the interstate or something. and get a lot of drive-throughs because these are a lot of restaurants. At any rate, welcome, Butch. That's great. That's great. Interesting. You learn something new every day. Every day. How about that? Where do you live, sir? Funk? Nah, wouldn't work for me. How did it ever get that name anyway? Was it named after somebody named Funk? Obviously, it must have been a long time ago. Okay, I'm trying to read every word of every chat, but we have France represented this morning. Jean-Marc Bordeaux. Hi, Jean-Marc. How are you? So I guess it's pronounced Jean-Marc Bordeaux. Although there's no spaces the way YouTube plays it. Hello from France. And to make you feel right at home, Jerry says, bonjour. Bonjour. Good to see you. Yeah. Sandy Blythe. Oh my God. Yes, a Rant Man t-shirt. It would take, to have all the muscles printed all over it would take a special company, because the ones that do the t-shirts now, they give you just a templated area on the front of the shirt to design whatever graphics you want on it. That would take a real specialty printer. I don't know if I could find that, but I might be able to do something. Use the Rant Man theme in a regular t-shirt. Although people don't buy a lot of my t-shirts, they're good novelty things. But you might notice I never really try to push them. Everybody's selling t-shirts, and they are expensive, being custom made and printed to order one at a time. You know, there's no way you're going to get them that cheap. John Mark says, you're doing well in your recovery, talking with us. Yeah, I've been doing that since week 2. I went back. Every once in a while, I go back and watch some of the earlier videos when I had just had the stroke. And I amazed myself at the difference. And even now, I still feel that the stroke has permanently affected my speech. And if I get any better than this, it's going to be slowly, but I still, in my own ear, hear myself slurring words that I don't hear when I watch the replay. So I guess as long as people can understand what I'm saying, this will just be my new accent. It is what it is. Excuse me. A little itch. It's always something. Aaron is here. Good morning, Aaron. How you doing? Okay, let me try to run down here a little bit, look for some questions. I enjoy reading the chat. I just don't have the time to read the whole thing. Edward Runner's here. Hi, Edward. Good morning. I made it. You guys are talking about this where I mentioned Denny's. Hi, Lori. Good morning to you. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here early this morning. Yeah, Rick, that's an interesting observation. Funk was a name because he has a Funk and Wagnalls encyclopedia. So when did the word funk take on the meaning of something being icky and smelling bad? And then there was, of course, funky. You know, things were funky, which is a good thing. It was a good thing. That's when it pertained to music. Funky music. Funky music. Play that funky music, white boy. A song that you could not make in the current political climate today. It would be considered extremely racist. Play that funky music, white boy. Remember that? And I'd love to, oh God, I would love to get a video clip of Lawrence Welk. Remember Lawrence Welk? I've mentioned this before, but every time I think funky, I think of this. Lawrence Welk standing, the corniest hate guy in the whole world, Mr. Accordion himself, standing up in front of his band and uttering the words on national live TV. Play that the funky music, white boy, he said. And God, I would love to have a video clip of that. Maybe it may be on YouTube. I'll have to search for it. That was a television heyday event. Would have gotten him criminally arrested today for doing that on live TV. Uh-oh. DS-111. Question, Mitch, who was it in the 60s that used to call police the fuzz? Was it the blacks or the hippies? Tend to think it was the blacks. I don't know. I don't think it was limited to any particular group. The fuzz, we used to look at it was just a word that people use to talk about them. She's the fuzz. I don't know what the origin of it is, but I'm sure that artificial intelligence would give you some kind of an answer. Super Tuna's here. Good morning to you. A small family-run breakfast and lunch place. I get a large chopped steak and scrambled eggs with the meat and fat. Yes, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. Oh yeah, God, you know it. You know it. Bride's biscuit. You go into any Chinese restaurant at all, and you are overwhelmed by the smell of seed oils. And if you cooked, you can go into people's houses that do a lot of cooking at home, and if they regularly cook with seed oils, there's a smell that settles into every fabric and carpet and everything else from that seed oil that you never get rid of. You never get rid of it. It's that greasy spoon aroma. And you don't get that same lingering smell when you cook with animal fats. At least I don't. My house never smells like somebody just cooked in it, yet I cook in it every day. It does not, it's not the same. It's not the same. You guys are having good conversations today. It's good to see. CB says, how about the back of the Rant Man t-shirt? Broccoli on a fork, offering to him and a comic bubble above saying, can't, man. That's cool. That's cool. We could wear a shirt like that down the street and nobody would have a clue what the hell it means. Think about it. the civilians wouldn't understand it, wouldn't get it. Oh, I'm doing good. I'm catching up. I'm at 7:40 a.m. in the chat, and it is now 7:44. How about that? How about that? Got 91 people here. Not bad. Not bad for a Monday morning. Tell me, is this 7 o'clock thing, you guys? I know some people are going to say it's not good for me, but I'd love to know if it's actually better for most of you as it is better for me. That'd make me feel good. Amy is here. How you doing, Amy? Good to see you. Let me do what I normally do about 15 minutes from the end and go in here and search for questions. And we will type QQQ. And the first question, Mitch, are you in a good mood this morning? Yes, I am. Next question. It's the one for Donna. Getting the blood tests from Own Your Labs. And then the DS-111, who in the 60s they used to call Fuzz. So I think that was it. 3 questions. Okay, I'm caught up. You can see over here in the chat how that works. When I type QQQ, first thing you do, in case you don't know this on a computer, I'll give you a little computer lesson. You have the F3 key up at the top, F3. When you press F3, a little text window opens up at the top of the window that you're searching in, and you can type what you want to search for. And as you type letters, it highlights. See that orange highlight? It highlights those letters. So if I just typed a Q, for example, 1Q, it'll highlight just the 1Q. And if I press F3 again, it takes me to the next Q. And F3 again takes me to the next Q. And then F3 takes me to the next Q somewhere in here. But I always type QQQ, capital QQQ. And when I press F3 each time, it just goes from one to the other. See that? It makes it real easy for me. That's why those Qs are a good way for me to make sure I don't miss any questions. Because one day I expect that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. One day I expect the question of the century to come across. A question that only I, Rant Man, might be qualified to answer in the entire world. A question that important. And I don't want to miss it. Probably not. Probably not. Amy says, good morning, Mitch and friends. Sorry, I'm late. I didn't realize the time changed. Yeah, I sent out a community post on Saturday, hoping somebody get the word, but I guess most people found it. I really tried. I hate to keep changing these things. I really tried to keep it at 9 o'clock. And the more I did it, the more I hated it. And I said, no, I got to change it back. And I like the fact that I follow Kilts immediately after Kilts. And he's talking about his meetup in Tampa. Evidently no barbecue this year, but a one-day meetup in Tampa with a meal at the Brazilian Steakhouse at 4 o'clock. The meetup starts at 10 a.m. at the 4 Points Sheraton near the airport in Tampa. And I haven't talked to him to decide how I'm going to handle it. I don't know if, I know he invited me down to his place in Sarasota. Maybe I'll go down and spend a day with him. That'd be nice. or spend some time with him on Friday, stay overnight there, and then head back up to Tampa. He is about an hour, maybe an hour and a half from Tampa. So it's not like it's driving next door. It's still a little bit of a jaunt, but we'll see. Still got a couple months yet to worry about that. What's today? Today is the 8th. Today is the 8th. God, we're coming up on Christmas. Wow. Wow. Let's get back to the bottom of this. Cassie's here. Hi, Cassie. How you doing? Carnivore Farm Mom. Good to see you this morning. Amy says, question, when are the streams now? 6 streams a week, every day but Sunday. The morning ones are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 a.m. The evening ones, the 2 members streams, Tuesday and Thursday night, and I'm going to make the Saturday stream also for everybody at 7 p.m. So the times uniformly now are 7 a.m. for the coffee streams, 7 p.m. for any of the evening streams on alternate days. So I have 1 stream to do a day. This is my version of being on vacation. It's only working 6 days a week, but basically just for a couple hours a day between setting up for these and getting ready and doing it. It doesn't build my channel at all. Without putting out videos, you get no reach. The normal attrition of subscribers I've lost in the last 30 days, 125 subscribers have disappeared. Probably not because they unsubscribed, but this is just normal for YouTube. If you're not doing anything to get new subscribers, the old number just whittles a couple a day from people whose channels have been subscribed maybe for years, and they deleted their channels have gone away, or the random unsubscribing that YouTube does for no apparent reason. And people say, and you've seen it in the chat, I looked and I don't know what happened, but I found myself unsubscribed. Well, that's just YouTube. Don't know how that happens or why. And in fact, it's some of my strongest followers have found themselves unsubscribed. I think there's a little nefarious conduct in there somewhere on YouTube's part, especially in our community, trying to disillusion us, get us to quit for some reason. It doesn't make any sense, but it seems that way. Uh, 46. Cassie, what is the craziest dream you have had while asleep? Good morning, everybody. I'll tell you something. Interestingly enough, Cassie, I don't remember my dreams. Do not remember them. When I first wake up, I'll remember a little of it for 5 minutes maybe. But my dreams never seem to get to my long-term memory. And in short-term, in your short-term memory, you're good for 5 minutes tops. There's a big difference between short-term and long-term memory. You can tell. You can tell when new information comes to you, it goes in your short-term memory first, until for some reason your brain recognizes the need to hold on to it, which is probably why I can't remember anybody's name until it has some relevance for me. If somebody introduces me, hi, this is, meet my friend Bob. Hi, Bob. Well, 5 minutes, a couple minutes later, I no more know Bob's name and never will remember it because I don't know Bob and that I never see Bob again. But after I see so many of you every day, I, of course, remember your names. Everybody's different in that respect. Some people just have photographic memories, remember everything, every word they've ever said. That's almost somewhere on the autism spectrum. If somebody tells you a 7-digit phone number and you don't write it down and you don't dial it right away, it's gone. It's normal. It's gone. And everybody is, again, a little different. Long-term memories need to be refreshed occasionally. You need to bring them into your consciousness, and then and that otherwise they'll disappear over time. And unless those memories are associated with some kind of action or vision or sound, or they'll disappear. But if they're associated with something, and that something happens again, they'll come back. They'll come back. We've all had memory is fascinating. So I've done a lot of reading about memory and observing, especially songs. If you have associated, and it's usually in some kind of usually in a romantic context, if you have associated a particular song with a time in your young life that had romantic implications, when that song plays, and the saying we use is, wow, doesn't that take me back? You go, sometimes it's overwhelming. You're back in time in your mind just because of that particular melody, lyrics, or song, to a time where something momentous was happening. And other things, for me, it's the name of movie stars. They come and go. They come and go. I'll see a movie star and I know who he is. And I just can't, they say on the tip of your tongue. And it isn't until you stop thinking about it and let your brain go to work on it. Maybe sometime later, the name pops into your head. Well, it's like giving the computer a job, and then when it gets the answer, it prints it out for you. It's crazy how that happens. And when that happens to you, you say, oh my God, I'm going senile. But it's not. It's happened to me all my life, even when I was younger. But I do not remember in any detail. If I went to a psychiatrist and sat down on a couch and they said, tried to analyze some of my dreams, I would go, sorry, I dream every night. I dream in great detail. I have no idea. No idea. I don't remember any dream in any detail that I've ever had. I don't know how many people are like that. It's not that important for me to know, but it's a interesting question, though. Interesting question. Let's see. Any more questions here? Let me go over here. Whoops. What did I do? I didn't mean to shut that. There we go. Let me go over here and press the F3 key again. What was the craziest dream? That was the last question. What are the streams now? Okay. Did get them all. So let's go back to the bottom here. Look at all these chat entries. Wow, wow, wow. Garage Physics says, I've woken up screaming. No, I've never had that reaction where I'm like, I just never have come out of it. I haven't in my conscious memory had anything like I never have nightmares or night terrors or anything like that. I'm very lucky in that respect. Oh, wow. Amy says, my mom died in my dreams the other night. I had to call her. Wow, wow, wow. There's a lot. You know, I don't know, most of you have not read my book, but I wrote a lot in my book about the sixth sense and how we're connected, especially to loved ones, and communicate. And I even try to explain the mechanism I theorized is at work. Very real mechanism where that explains those things, like you get a feeling, and you know something bad happened, and you find out at that instant something bad happened to one of your loved ones, especially mothers whose sons get killed halfway around the world in a war. They'll bolt straight up right in bed in the middle of the night, knowing that something terrible just happened. That happened to me when both my parents died, both of them. I knew it instantly, even though my mother was on the other side of the state. I knew it. I knew when my father died. Got the feeling, same feeling. And minutes later, the phone rang. And I answered the phone. And I said, yeah. Mr. Weiss, yeah. What happened? Your father just passed away. I said, I knew it. And I did know it. And you can't trivialize those experiences, even though they sound impossible. If it happens to you and you're not crazy, which I never discount anyway, and you're not crazy, you then say, how could that have happened? Well, that's the kind of curiosity I have. And I actually figured out as plausible a theory as anybody else for so much of this mysterious stuff, reading minds and things. And I wrote chapters about it in my book. And if anybody can actually follow what I wrote, it makes sense. Myra, let me get down to the bottom of this other chat here so I can put these questions up on the screen. Why do you think the reintroducing carbs on carnivore trend continues and continues? Is it based on some factorial fallacy? Dr. Salvador is talking about carbs helping baseline baseline dopamine. Okay, that's where you ran out of room, I guess. That's the burning question. That's the burning question. You have to wonder. You have to wonder if anybody has any real evidence or idea what, even though it may change some of your quote numbers, whether that isn't very easy to explain and isn't supposed to happen? Nobody knows. We have absolutely, nor will we ever have, any meaningful studies or tests to give us a conclusive answer to that question. The one factor that I look at that kind of keeps the whole thing going. In other words, you said they're still talking about this. I don't think it'll ever be settled. But think about it this way. What forces tend to push that argument in one direction or the other? What forces would cause people to want to believe that it's good for them to add carbs versus the forces that want them to say it's not good? The major force of any, call it a movement, is people hear what they want to hear. So if you took all the people out there, do they want to hear that carbs are good for them? Or do they want to hear that carbs are bad for them? Well, they're mostly carb addicts. So duh. More likely to believe the people who are telling you to add carbs. Exactly as I feel about coffee. It's a bias. So, yes, it's not going to go away. Does it have any validity? I don't think so. I don't think you're going to do yourself any harm, especially shorten your lifespan by not eating carbs. But do we want to eat carbs? Hell yeah, we're addicts. We're addicts. Now, imagine if the same argument, the same thing was true with alcohol. And there were people out there getting clicks on videos telling you why drinking is good for you. You can't drink too much. Don't believe all these people that say it's hurting your liver or anything else. People would want to believe that because they want to drink. So be very careful that the addiction bias, let's call it that, the addiction bias to alcohol, coffee, smoking, or anything isn't pushing you more in that direction. So yes, when I see a video, it comes out and tells me all the reasons why I need to add carbs, I go, whoa, would that be true? Wouldn't that be great? I could just have that pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream every day. I want to believe that I could. I would love to. Unfortunately, I would be fat and sick, in pain, miserable, and killing myself if I did that. But that's not the way I would rather it. Nobody likes. The only thing, the saving grace of carnivore for a carb addict, the saving grace of carnivore is the fact that you don't crave the carbs as much because you don't need them. And that in itself tells you the real truth, that the day the carb cravings get manageable, you're doing the right thing. And as soon as the carb cravings start creeping up again, there's something you're not doing right. Sometimes all it takes is a tiny little cheat. So that's a great question. That's a great, but unfortunately, just like with the coffee's good for you, coffee's bad for you, we're going to be fighting this battle for years and years and years to come. But the bias is towards wanting an excuse to add carbs, because what addict doesn't want any kind of rationalization or excuse that they can buy into to indulge in whatever substance they're addicted to. That makes sense to me. So, my friends, it's already after 8 o'clock. And I'm going to call it a morning. And thank you so much for coming. And I will see you again on Wednesday morning. Little happy music. Take a minute to say, Carnivore Farmers, bitch, yes, I want to hear carbs are a part of a well-balanced diet. Yeah, exactly. It sounds good. It plays into our addictions. Yep. Good question. It's a good subject. It's a good topic to discuss. Like they say in the movie business. What's your motivation? What's my motivation in this season? That's the important thing. You got to understand why are you motivated? And the only guy I know that isn't motivated to eat carbs is Rick. Anyway, Lori says, thank you, Mitch. Lori, sweetie, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, a little comment on my last video. Brought a big smile to my face. And we're all heading over to Aaron's stream. I'm glad this works out. I'm glad this will work out for you. So everybody head over to Aaron's stream now and spend the morning with the family over there, the big family. Have a great day, says Pamela Suarez. Yeah, how you doing, Pamela? Super Tunes. See all the Mitch Fitz later. CB Carmack says, Ricky's carburetors. Yeah, that's what carbs mean to Rick. They mean carburetors. Oh, my friends, thanks for coming so much. Hope you enjoyed it this morning. I did. I stayed in a good mood through the whole thing. We let Brant Man take the day off. And I will see you tomorrow night in the members stream at 7 p.m. where we'll have a panel and we have a good time. You should join the private community, the members, channel members community. I got to stop using that word private. We're not that elitist. At any rate, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.